Alright, let's get started by removing the rails with this nifty L-shaped tool. It's perfect for levering out those stubborn nails. With the right technique, it becomes a breeze. Now, I'm scraping the top edges where the boxes meet. We don't want any gaps caught by lumps of propolis where the boxes come together. Next, we're diving into the inner recesses where the frame lugs sit. Safety first, I always make sure to work with the sharp end of the tool pointing away from my body and my other hand. Wow, there's quite a bit of build up here. Finishing off the side I started earlier, still keeping the blade safely away from me. Look at those nice big chunks coming off. It's so satisfying when they come off cleanly. Now, I'm tackling the bottom edge where the boxes meet. Let's give the worktop a quick brush because I'm about to use the blowtorch. We don't want propolis dust sparking in the flame or melting and sticking to the worktop. I was aiming for a chestnut brown finish, but it seems we've skipped that stage and gone straight to dark brown or black. Propolis, beeswax, and the little leftover wood shavings and splinters are quite flammable, and they're flaring up a bit. I might have gone a bit heavy-handed here. I'm making sure to give the corners a good go-over with the flame, as that's where something unwanted could be hiding. Do you see the residues melting under the flame? That's what we want. Every last bit sterilised. And that's the brood box sterilised. Next up is the crown board. This piece usually sits at the top of the hive, above the supers and below the roof. This simple component serves several purposes. It provides insulation and stops the bees from going all the way up into the hive roof, which they'd likely coat with propolis. You'll notice this crown board has 2 holes. For most of the year, these would be blocked off, but in winter and early spring, you can place a feeder here, and that's what's caused the circular outline. You could put bags of fondant over the hole too. It also has another use, clearing the supers of bees so you can harvest the honey. You'd fit a bee escape into the oval-shaped holes and move the crown board to sit above the brood box and below the supers. The bee escape acts as a one-way exit for bees. Any bees working in the super can get down into the brood box, but bees in the brood box cannot get back up into the supers. Rotating it around so I can continue to scrape in the same direction along the grain of the wood. And onto the other side for the same treatment. There are a few different bee escape designs. The original was the porter bee escape, which is just about the same size as the oval hole. It relies on a couple of bits of springy metal to restrict the direction that bees can walk. The problem is that bees glue the springy bits into the open position with propolis. It takes no time at all for the flame to cause any remaining wax or propolis to melt and give the wood a deeper brown colour. There's not a great deal of scraping to do on the baseboard. just along the top surface where this meets the brood box, and then along the inner lip. Very little build-up to deal with. I'll give the mesh a quick pass with the torch too. This is the entrance to the hive. This will have seen a lot of traffic, so I'll make sure to get the flame into both sides. And that's the baseboard done. The process for the honey super is identical to that of the brood box. I'll start by removing the runner bars again. I use the strange little hole in the hive tool to lift the nail out. That's what that hole is for, if you ever wondered. I won this magnetic nail dish in a raffle. It's very useful for keeping things in one place. Look at this propolis build up on the edge. That would not have fitted well against the next box at all. Finishing off the corners that were nearest me. Some nice chunks coming off again, always satisfying. Sorry for this angle folks, the camera on the other side ran out of space, which is a shame because there was a lot of propolis to remove. Another quick brush of the worktop. Oops, missed a bit. Still, not the best camera angles, I'm afraid. I think I've missed that part with my scraping. It's on the underside, so there wasn't much there anyway. It'll get a good blast from the torch. The queen excluder sits between the brood box where you want the queen to lay eggs and the honey super, which you want to keep free of brood so that it's just honey stores. This is a metal queen excluder and it's screwed into an outer wooden frame. The screws are filled with propolis and are a little difficult to turn. The screws are actually so short there's not a great deal of wood for them to get a good grip. Wow, look at all this propolis on the underside of the queen excluder. The bees have been busy here. Don't worry, I'll give the floor a sweep too. Just the lightest touch from the flame melts the residue and gives the wood a nice sheen. The build-up comes off the metal frame very easily. I only found out afterwards that you can get a special tool for cleaning around the individual spokes of the grill. I've only got my trusty hive tool. I need to melt everything off the queen excluder and catch the drips on some old cardboard. I didn't want to use the blowtorch as wax, cardboard and a hot flame will pretty quickly turn into a nice big candle. I also don't want to breathe in everything, so I've stepped outside and I'm working on the ground. And there we have it, a clean and sterilized queen excluder, ready to go back in the hive.